Aqqaluk, 12 years old. I was 12 years old. To fly out with caribous never come this way. Outside, North Slope. They never come. You do to August maybe walk up to a North Slope from this area, Nana area. And they come home maybe October. When it starts snowing, they start coming home. Dried some meat, fat, skin, sinew. Tamadray lokay niya kagisudin at yudit harak tunga. Kisa madama kagip ko tutut kalimong neglect po, they're getting closer. One of these days, we'll have lots of caribou. Ima, ano mo ko tinakikanga, kaya mani, along meat before white people come. They never migrate out that way, lots of caribou here and there. Tamani yok tutut itakut. Wasi dama kanok mo dama. Inyugliw na angat kok. Tatka mga tutut mana, tatka mga lahuding. Mga huni, inyong nuno ka anak sok. Tuttunnaiq ekleksma. Tam na yok. Pigo raw na ngayon naksok ta hama inyo saktis kanyo pluni angat ko naksok. Tama na mo naglada madawa nga tuttunnaiq yala kami. Tatka mga munawala man. Caribou followed him. It's a medicine man. Real big one. I mean strong. So they were out there for a long time. Apaya kuni tutularan nga chuda nga yokalak tungaliwad ako. Ara utek talak sudu mo pagma. Iñupiaq. Tamani yung naktam. Tatka mga riman. Iyangnik. Iñuksulak sok. Tutikit namin yung aso utek takawig bluch. Iñupiaq ito amingit. Tamat ko iñuksut. Sangit ko tat pe nga tarasi tapla lasip du bluwak. Bluwak tat na iñuna lasip du dah. Angat ko ni kuba. Kuba tat na sirok tam na itnala na nga ngayukak tu nga kuya raya agayun. Tat na chiming na lukak madiut.
In my younger days, we don't have caribous. We don't have moose. We don't have beavers. But then what they relied on was muskrat hunting in springtime. People catch those by thousands, muskrats. They went out scattered all over the river. Hardly anybody in the village. You know, everybody move out in springtime and hunt muskrats, you know. And later on, the caribou started getting closer. Likely once they start migrating south, why we start going out caribou hunting around the Aqqaluk area with the dog teams. I think it would be better if we go up there and then go beyond these hills and check, see if there's any caribou crossing up there. Yeah, it won't take long, about 20 minutes, right? This time of the year, once they start migrating south, when you talk with the people around Kobuk area, that once they start crossing, you can always know they're coming in. When you run into caribous, you don't need to go up the hills. But then you had a hard time seeing caribous while you had to go up the hill, and also some towers that you can climb into any little higher places where you can look out and see if there's any caribou around the area. Like right now, they're coming around, going by, a few here and there, not very many. They'll be going by for a while and then slack off. And the second group, once they start coming through, why they start coming through till it frees up. The old timers usually say just to leave the first bunch alone, let them go through without killing them. Just so the other bunch should start following the trail, and then the caribous would start coming by, you know, instead of taking another route. You have to let, like a cow with a calf, most of the people, they talk about that cow and the calf, that making a trail for the whole herd, that should be coming by, so you had to let them go by. I've been shooting ever since I was a little boy, maybe 6 years old. I started hunting muskrat in springtime with single shot. And I was taught by my aunt and my cousins, you know, how to use the rifle. And my brother, also my uncle, used to tell me how to handle the gun. You cannot walk around with a loaded gun. You can have ammo in the magazines, whatever kind of rifle you may use, or shotgun. You can have those ammo or shot shells in your magazine, but then you cannot carry that thing around with a loaded. I mean, you cannot load it and carry that around. Also, you cannot lean onto it, hold it on the barrel. You cannot lean on a rifle or a shotgun. That's the safest way to go out hunting. This time of the year, what we usually do is look for bulls, because the cows, they got a little pond, you know. You don't want to shoot no cows, and the bulls that you can see, some of the young bulls, you know, in the first bunch start coming in through, and you can, like for example, what we run into, you know, when you run into a little herd like that, you can see the bulls easy. And those are the ones that you wanted to go for. Caribou's got good eyes, and they got good ears. They can hear you, they can see you. When you saw caribous, well, you got to figure a way to get close to them. It all depends on where they are, where you see them, what kind of a terrain there is around the area. You got to see, and what direction the wind's blowing from. And then you got to make plan, or if you're alone, well, you got to start thinking about which way you can get close to them. You know, if there's a hill there, there's a good chance of getting close to them. got to stay low, especially during the summer. Summertime like this, why once you start catching caribou, you got to stay low as much as you can, get close to them. You don't want to shoot the caribous with a small caliber. Once you shoot with small caliber, you may wound some of the caribous, and they kept on going, and you lose the caribou you shoot. But then a little higher caliber, like 243 and a little higher power, I think they're a good caribou rifle. See, you got to sight your rifle, and you got to know your weapon when you're out going out and hunting, not only on caribou, on mainly everything, Chances is, if you really want to catch caribou, why you got to make a long shot. But then you got to know your rifle.
Most of the time we know the terrain we're hunting. We would go around bushes and stay out of sight. Or if there's a little hill, we would try and go through the low spots and get close to the caribou. Otherwise we're right on the trail, and sometimes we're behind bushes and they would just come right up to us. To get a good shot, we get as close as we can and save most of the meat. We would like the next shot. In the fall time, we look for the bigger ones because they're fatter. We know they're in full rut about October. You can always see that they're fighting and trying to protect their mates, so we don't get any more wolves then. We try to hunt them before that time.
Once you shot a caribou, why you just go right over to the caribou, and you want the blood out, why you got to cut the throat right away and let it bleed and start cutting it up. And leggings, you got to cut the leggings like, skin the legs, hooves and all that. Save every part of it. You have to put the caribou on the back. Once you got antlers, why you just pull the antlers further back that the caribou can stay steady, especially when you're working alone. Next thing you do, when you got the caribou on the back, what you do is start cutting it right through the center, over the belly, all the way to the back, from the throat, and then the legs, and then start skinning the legs and the hooves. You got to use your hand to pull the skin after you use a knife for skinning the legs, and you start pulling the skin out from the legs and on the side like that with your bare hand, all the way to the back. That way you don't have no knife mark or anything if you want to use the skin. After you take the skin off, you start taking the belly off, belly part, you know, and then you shave that belly part also. And then turn it left side up and start taking the intestines out. Once you pull everything out like that, you can always know there's a heart and there's a liver. And part of the intestines, like I think they call it Bible, or I don't know the English name for it. I just call it Eskimos salami, like sausage, you know. Put a fat and stuff like that, and you turn it inside out and clean it up. There. You might put the heart in there too. I need no stick right here. The traditional way is after you clean a caribou out, like you open it and take the brisket off and start taking the legs off. If you don't have no anything to lay them on with, why you gotta knock down any willows or anything to keep it clean. You know, put it on top of the willows or whatever you got around close by. If you're out on the tundra, why you can put them right on the top of the lichen piles, you know, and it'll keep it clean, you know. And after you take the back strap off, you cut the bone right to the middle there. You find the joint. It's not too hard to find the joint. You cut it in half, and what you do is take the ribs off. Also, you gotta clean the head and take the head home. You gotta skin the whole head, and you don't wanna waste the head either. You take the jaw off and clean it out with the tongue. The tongue and the jaws, you can boil them and eat those too. If you're gonna pack that, you want to bone it out there too, but then you don't want to leave no meat out there. You got to take everything home. If you're gonna have to make more than one trip, why you gotta have to make one more trip to take everything to your transportation, whatever your kind of transportation you got. Like if you go out with a boat in summer, why once you catch caribou way out there, you got to bring the whole thing back down to the boat and take everything home. catch anything like a moose or a caribou or a bear, you can divide that up to the people, whoever needs some meat. And of course they got no freezers to put it away, And the traditional way is when you got young people on the first catch, they usually give it away to the elders.
Nakula Bertramiva, Tuttunnaiq, Tuttunnaiq, Savalodo Rachluit, Nudat, Pitmadig, Nakuru, Tukkanading, Nalangni Rachluit, Asi Tukkanat Kanok Amil Halo, Nekhlekil Halo, Uko Datiun, Nudat Piraktut, Ta Nang Soit Nahoding, Amiksuman, Nituman una angugorak sa vagakaya temang nga itna ningi igitek torluit no kunlakanap yak torlu pitlechat tana temang nga kanga sikturak nagaka kamit kitisak tugborakayat ang nangi sa asi kileyak sipluit kamip yuding siktulip yuding kamit kisip yuding Tana pirarigat tuttu nakula baktok ilokan sabora lodo rakhlu sa waktuni suli ikayu doraktok at kasip lyugo kamip lyugo aleksilip lyugo pini ukurok ukimi ilokan tuttu tana tugborakagat Ubali ubanga inyuok wingma itna tut masuktorlu pilechat tuttu binyoramik tana pi aming ame panektit kisorahlu panektit taria mama nagaka papa gama iksiklay niya so na sunigang ngugoran nagaka ta neli itnaleni kangatiut ninguraktuman nagakanakoktuman dan na amirariat ta naliwa amirsiraktunga nakuersisungat nau nakoktuman nakupiraklu tutulakirakama nakuraktuman mama dakku iksagukog tuttum nakon at kating nurgok alakik sugit nakaktok.
You don't want to waste all the things you catch. That you got to use everything what you catch. If you don't need it, you got to ask your neighbors if they need that thing, and you got to share with the neighbors. Your neighbors, share with them, and be a good success hunter. This has been going on ever since from our ancestors. We learned that most important is that you got to be a good conservationist, that you got to know how much game animal you got around the country, right where you're living, and you don't want to overkill like the moose and things like caribou. You don't want to overkill those. I was born and raised here in the village. This is a subsistence village. That's where they settled down to subsist, live off the land, living off the land in the fall, in the winter, in the spring, and in the summer.